Heidi-ho neighbors, Radio Goji here.
And I'm Soylent Greg.
And welcome back to Ocarina of Time. When we last left off, we were getting some upgrades and stuff, and then I was going to off-screen things, and then that didn't happen.
So now we're on-screening the off-screen things.
Well, yeah, we can we can do that, I guess.
Or whatever. Hey.
I'm just going to come back here with more rupees, because that's really what I need, is just rupees to buy some
Navi's blinking at you.
Navi's always blinking.
Yeah, I know. You should listen to what she says. It's really bad if you spend the whole game ignoring a woman.
So let's see if I can remember what all voices we gave everyone. I'm fairly sure.
That's the most important part of the LP is remembering what voices we gave people.
That's the kind of comments that we're getting are like they like the voices. So
exactly.
We don't even need
got a
that.
stick.
We got max sticks.
Don't steal your stick from my room. That's my stick. I was going to have sex with that later.
I don't even know how that works, but
they're
I'm sure
Goron.
that's a Goron problem, and it's none of our business.
Listen, I'm a kid. I don't understand any of these things. I'm like 8 years old. Look, I can blow a nice tune for you. Oh, way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, never knew how much that money water meant to me.
Did not. Where's our? Oh, you know what?
What'd we do?
Let's load the restore point.
Oh dear God, we broke everything.
Sorry. I think it was...
We've canceled the Legend of Alan Jackson early.
Sorry.
My apologies.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot what we had... I'd done a save state when we last left off, and not... Because I just reloaded the file, not knowing, and I guess we didn't have Saria's song yet.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah. Sorry about that little bit of behind the scenes there, but that's all right.
Those are the sorts of raw, behind the scenes, documentary style things that you expect from Squeeze-A-Load Game.
And not by choice, necessarily.
Alright, now we can play the song, because I'm playing the exact same notes, but now I know the song. What? No, I didn't mean that. No, please.
If I remember correctly.
Somebody put a piece of leather in his mouth. He's doing it again.
I think Darunia's voice was Barry Burton.
Oh.
Come on, Wesker!
Turn down for what?
What a hot beat! Whoa!
It doesn't have a beat, it's... Okay,
Yahoo!
Yahoo!
Hey, what a nice tune! Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something just came over me.
I remembered my gun.
I suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. I'm Darunia.
You definitely dance like crazy, my dude.
I am the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? What? You want the Spiritual Stone of Fire too? The Spiritual Stone of Fire, also known as the Goron's Ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. But hold on! I'm not going to give it to you that easily. If you want it so badly...
Fight to the death.
Why don't you destroy the monsters inside of the Dodongo's cavern and prove you're a real man?
I'm not a man, I'm a boy.
That way, everyone will be happy again. If you do it, I will give you anything you want, even the spiritual stone.
Even my stick.
I have something for you. I'm not really giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway.
I give it to everyone who comes by.
It would be better if you, the master of lifting things, take it.
It's a Jehovah's Witness pamphlet. Oh no, okay.
It's
the mitts. It's the gloves one.
Yeah, gloves one.
It's really lucky for us to run across this first time this early in the game. It might give us Dark World access if we get the hammer too.
Yeah, and I think we can. I think we can complete World 1 now, or the Eastern Palace.
No. Oh, do we? Well, I guess we could use the slingshot.
We could use the slingshot for the
Eastern
Eastern Palace,
but we have the slingshot.
So now that we have the Goron's bracelet, we can actually lift these bomb flowers here.
That was a little Zelda randomizer.
Everyone's playing randomizers these days.
Everybody is.
It's the bee's knees. Because they are so much fun. I mean, just take a look at our randomizers. I don't know if we're going to ever finish the Link to the Past one.
I'd like to finish it. And like I told you before the recording began, I'd like to do another one. Maybe put some. Throw some like wacky wacky things on top of it, like...
Do Keysanity.
Oh, I'm not doing Keysanity. I'm not that crazy. Like, I don't know how you did. You can do the location warp thing, like you did with Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do that shit. But, I don't know, maybe do something crazy like,
It's basically just memorization of, like what the insides of the place look like. That's how I was able to get around with Link's Awakening like that.
Maybe do the thing that scrambles the bosses up. That would be.
Oh yeah, like the Enemizer.
Yeah, you can do it. What the hell? You can do it where it's just the bosses that switch. So, you could go into the Eastern Palace and there's Helmasaur.
Yeah. Because we've been watching Nintendo Capri Sun's Enemizer run, and one thing I liked is, I don't know how far you got in there, but
I've just watched the first one.
It turns out that because the bosses are switched around too with that, but not only are they're not really switched around, they're just kind of replaced. So he fought I think it was he fought a couple of them in 2 different places.
Really? So you can fight multiple bosses.
Yeah.
Copies of the same boss.
That
happens in... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, then again...
I don't think you can throw that while you're jumping. I think you've got to wait for...
Oh, I'm not trying to jump.
Oh.
I'm not...
Oh, you hopped off.
Yeah, those were accidents.
Happy little accidents.
I know that he fought Moldworm twice. He fought... shit.
Damn it! He fought shit.
He fought shit.
Damn it.
And then again, you fight Moldworm twice anyway.
Yeah, you do. You fight him once, and then you fight him... Oh, it scrambles up the,
Well, it scrambles up them, too, but I know that there was one that he fought twice that... he fought Vitreous twice.
Oh, okay. Then I was like, it doesn't just scramble up the double fights, because you fight Armos, Moldorm, and all the Light World bosses, and whatever the desert worm things, thank you, are called. You fight all of those going up Ganon's Tower.
I don't think he ever fought Blind.
Oh, lucky man. One of my least favorite things is in Randomizer is how often you get Dark World access from your initial run, and then you have to do Thieves Town first. Shit. That was so close, right on the rim.
See, not only do we have to get it into the pot, but it also has to land on a certain side.
Because Thieves Town is not the easiest dungeon to do first. If you have
Thieves Town isn't
not gotten a lot of heart containers.
Thieves Town isn't the easiest dungeon to do in a vanilla run.
No, definitely not.
I mean, you saw.
Damn it!
Are you kidding me with this shit?
Although I've really gotten it. Like I told you, I've gotten it where I did use save states, but I save stated outside of the room. I didn't save state during the fight. But I beat Blind with the hammer, the blue mail, and 5 hearts.
I actually started a seed of it recently, and I got a whole bunch of stuff early on, and I think I'm stuck now. Although I did recently find out that I can access the latter portion of the Desert Palace without the book by...
Yes.
Although...
If you have the mirror and the stuff to do the Misery Mire War. Yes, there we go!
Because I do have the... Do you need the gloves in order to get into Misery Mire Dark World from that portal?
You do.
Okay,
you need gloves too to lift the 8-ball stone or whatever to
it didn't
get to the Dark World.
Didn't drop anything. I mean,
all that for a drop of blood.
It didn't. It didn't land on the one that we wanted anyway. But But normally it drops rupees for us at the very least.
That's funny that it does the multiple bosses. We can keep talking about the randomizer, but I wanted to just mention real quick because there's a Dark Souls randomizer that I've become fond of as well. Although it's kind of easy. Dark Souls isn't quite as gated as Zelda is. There's only a couple of keys, but if you pick the Master Key as your starting, the Thieves Key as your starting gift, you can pretty much go to the entire first half of the game before anything is gated off. Which is why most people who run it are insane people who also run Dark Souls version of the enemy randomizer, which randomizes all of the enemies and throws in a 5% chance that any normal enemy is instead a random boss. So you get things like the final boss of the game in the Undead Bird chasing you through the entire thing. which is very funny. I've watched a couple of pro Dark Souls streamers I like Lobos Jr. Do the Enemizer runs for charity, and they're pretty wacky.
There we go.
There we go.
Hopefully it lands on the super happy face, because that will give us a piece of heart. That's what I'm basically
that's what
here.
we're doing.
There we go. And we'll get a good chunk
get
of
some money,
change
too.
there. Chunk of change. Money.
That's something I want to key when I start doing if I start doing randomizer runs on YouTube or whatever, or on Twitch or whatever. I have a little key that I press, and every time I open up a thing and it says it gets money, it plays that clip from Money by Cardi B where it goes, money! It's like, ching, I got rupees, money! Especially when it gets to the point where I have like 1,000 rupees at all times and no longer need money, but I like desperately need the bow or something like that.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else we can really do at the moment.
Can we go to the dungeon?
Oh yeah,
I suppose.
yeah. We can go to the dungeon. I'm just trying to think of things I can do in the meantime.
It's pretty fucked up for the Goron leader to tell like an 8-year-old kid, like, "Hey, you go in that cave and kill the monsters that I'm unable to kill."
Look,
me, the big Goron.
Look, I know this is our problem, but you do it. I do know that there is a way that I can kind of sequence break a piece of heart over here.
Ooh.
So basically, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to take this bomb flower, toss it.
Toss it.
Toss it.
Careful. Look out, it's gonna blow!
Toss it over the edge like this, and it's supposed to destroy that boulder in front of the cave, and that will let us into the dungeon. But,
hello.
now normally,
there we go.
there's going to be a thing, like magic beans that we can plant that'll make platforms from when we're an adult.
I remember this.
And and normally you would use that to get that piece of heart there, but instead of doing that, what we can do...
Why have magic beans not become like a staple of the later Zelda games?
I don't know.
Really. Oh,
Backflip over that,
boom,
and we can land on the ledge.
Look
and
at that!
There's another piece of heart.
That's thinking with portals.
Painfully.
2 more pieces, you can gain life energy. You're just carrying around chunks of a heart in your satchel.
So I'm going to go ahead and equip the Hylian shield here, so that... Because I mean, it's easy enough to get a new Deku shield if it burns away. I just don't want to spend the money to do that.
Don't want that to happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I've played this enough so that I can, just go through here with a little difficulty. I can go through the whole thing. I mean, that's why I wanted to play. I've been wanting to play a randomizer of this, but I can't because my frickin' emulator sucks and I can't remap the controls.
What? That sucks. Yeah, I've run into an issue with my copy of Linux Mint where my, that $16 bootleg Xbox One controller that I have that's like fantastic. It feels just like an Xbox One controller. It doesn't work with my copy of Linux. There's some weird fix for it that I found on a forum, but it requires like a whole bunch of terminal work, and I'm like, I'll just boot into my Windows distro to play randomizer. That's fine.
I mean, I could probably use, because I have a SNES controller converter that works just fine, and I use that for playing the Game Boy and the SNES emulator.
Of course.
But that's not going to do it for an N64 emulator. So, the only other thing I can think of that I could probably use is a Logitech controller that I had that was gutted for a Raspberry Pi project that never got finished.
To be fair, those basic Logitech controllers are not terribly expensive these days. Like, I'm pretty sure you can get one at Target for like $20.
Probably get one off Amazon. I've been going on Amazon like a lot lately. I'm becoming what I hate.
Yeah, we all do in the end. We actually have Alexa in our house now.
Oh, I'm not going that far, but
I always thought I would hate it, but it's actually really fucking convenient.
I mean, it's
just
not
be like, hey Alexa, remind me at 3:00 to take the trash out. Like, hey Alexa, play Moving Pictures by Rush. And It's pretty great.
It's not a question of convenience. It's more of a question of I'm paranoid and don't want it recording everything I say.
Same, but I mean, your phone is already doing that. Well, my phone is. I have an iPhone with Siri, so it's always listening to my bullshit.
Yeah, I have an Android phone that has like a thing called Bixby, but I never activated it. And I think that's just like supposed to be like Google's answer to like Cortana or Siri.
Yeah, they're all getting there. They're all getting their voice things.
That's also why I don't use Windows 10.
I want to know, and what the true game changer will be, I mentioned this to my wife and my kid, is when will we get a voice assistant that is the voice of Carl from Aqua's Mom? When am I going to get that? You know? Carl, what's the weather like today? It don't matter. None of this matters. It's gonna be cold. Like, if you could put Carl on a voice like thing, I'd buy I'd buy one for every room of my house.
They have like GPS, like there's like GPS programs that have like celebrity voices on them, like.
Yeah, that's what we need for the voice assistant.
Our friend Jordan, you know Jordan.
Jordan.
He has a GPS.
He was on the Sonic Adventure LP, which if you haven't watched, you should, because it's one of the funniest LPs we've done.
Yeah, he may be making appearances in the Final Fantasy XIV one that I'm doing.
Nice.
Because I know that he's going to be he's an Omnicrafter.
Ah.
And he basically just like looks at his friend's gear and says, no. I'm going to make new gear for you.
No. That doesn't look good.
That's what he does.
I forgot how nightmarish those fucking lizards are.
Those Alphos, yeah.
Oh, they're just so polygonal and gross. They make me think of like cheaply made poser porn.
Oh god.
And I know this was like cutting edge in '97, but now it's like this is what like horrible people on DeviantArt make for like to fulfill their fetishes, and it's disturbing. That's okay.
To be fair,
maybe that's just
They usually get paid to do it by people who are like, "Can you make this for me?"
That's fair. If I could draw, I'd do that. But this may be like a case of like you get ads for like things you see, type thing. Why I'm thinking about this.
But yeah, Jordan has a GPS program of some kind that has, I think it has Morgan Freeman's voice set up.
Ooh. Yeah, give me one of those. Oh yeah, we need the Deku shield here. Watch out!
Let's see what this guy will give us.
She says as he fights the same enemy for the 100th time.
What will you sell? Deku sticks. I have max of those, and I'm not going to give you 15 rupees for one.
Congratulations, you won! Your prize is an extortionist deal. I'll give you a stick for a fourth of what's in your pockets.
Just checking to see if there are any Skulltulas in there. I know that we're
not
not
like a sixth, but whatever.
We're not going to be able to get all the Skulltulas while we're here because there's actually at least one or two that we actually have to be adult Link to get.
Ah, we have to come back here as a grown-up to get the things we missed out on as a kid. That's so like life.
This is one of the few dungeons you can actually visit both as a child and as an adult. I think the other ones are like, there's obviously the Spirit Temple, which we'll see later.
Yeah, of course.
Where you actually have to do the temple with both parts, but
that was brilliant, by the way.
And you'll get to see that brilliance. I'm fairly sure that there are you can technically go into the Shadow Temple as a kid.
Oh, okay.
I think.
It's something that gets discussed a lot with these games, and it's something I'm thinking about more with Link to the Past because I've been playing it so much. But damn, this series has good dungeon design.
Mostly, there are some misses, but they're usually not great games overall.
I was just thinking of Link to the Past with the Skull Woods, with the dungeon spread out through a creepy forest, and the whole boss following you around gimmick in Thieves Town. It's all very cool.
Yeah. What were some other? I mean, I'm trying to think of some like bad ones, but it's been the mainly ones that were just blah, like in the DS games.
Yeah, I don't remember and frankly, I don't remember. I never finished Twilight Princess, but I don't remember the early dungeons being much to write home about.
Twilight Princess had some good dungeons in it.
I should play that on an emulator. Now that we have emulation that'll
Well, you could get the Wii U one. I don't know. I have it on the Wii U. You can borrow the Wii U one.
Okay, well, the Wii U's in my kids' room, so that would be weird. Maybe they'll come out with a Switch version. I feel like playing a little Diddy.
What's the... Oh, is it... I'm trying to remember how I have my C button set up. There we go. I think I missed torch on the other side. Oh, no, I didn't. There's 3 torches. There we go.
This is my fight song. I don't know. All right.
But even games that I didn't like Skyward Sword, the last dungeon of Skyward Sword was freaking brilliant.
And of course, the one that you don't like that everyone else likes, Breath of the Wild, had shitty dungeons. Because, well, dungeons, I don't really... when they make another one, which I'm sure they will, although I don't know if it'll be exactly the same as that, if it'll be open world or whatever, the one thing I definitely would like is some more involved dungeons.
But, I mean, Breath of the Wild, I don't hate it, or I don't not like it, it's just I don't think it's as... I think it's overrated, is my thing with that, but... I liked the, I mean, I didn't mind the one dungeon I went through.
You did the Zora one, right?
I went to the elephant, and it was okay. It was pretty fun. And I really do like how they handled the shrines.
Oh, the shrines are great. I mean, have no problem with the shrines.
Not the ones where you have to fight like a giant fuck you robot, but
those are awesome.
I mean,
a major test of strength, and it's got like 4 fucking arms, and each one has a lightsaber on it. It's like,
yeah, and then
oh sweet God!
Then you have to like eat like 15 million pieces of food and go through 15 weapons in order to kill it, because that's how the fucking.
Excuse me, I need to chow down on 3 steak dinners because you just shot me in the balls.
Yeah, that's how that bullshit combat system goes in that game. That's the main thing I didn't like, was the combat system, but I'm fairly sure that I didn't really get a chance to really get into it. I still have yet to give it another playthrough, but there's so many other games I want to play in the meantime.
I just wish they'd make a game that's like a Link to the Past, but in 3D. I wonder if there's any game that's like that, you know? Any game anywhere in the history of Nintendo.
Oh, man, it's almost like, I mean, they had Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening was pretty cool. If only they'll remake that for the Switch. Oh, wait. That's going to be the best game on the system.
You're supposed to say, maybe that game is closer than you think, Greg.
And seriously, I went into this year
there we go.
Fully expecting my game of the year to be Dragon Quest Builders 2, and then I saw that direct, and I'm like, nope!
Oh, what, Link's Awakening?
Link's Awakening.
Oh, man, I'm hyped. But I am, and I know you're not, but I'm absolutely hyped for Mario Maker 2. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be great for people who like Mario Maker. I just never really got into that. Because
I don't really have a game of the year so far. I guess. Well, I mean, just be
whichever game you like the most that you played so far. I mean,
can it be the randomizer?
That wasn't made this year.
Last year. Honestly, the game that came out in 2019 that I've enjoyed the most so far is probably the Resident Evil 2 remake.
That's fair. I mean, I'm trying to just think of how many games have I played that have come out this year. Sega Age's Gain Ground. I think it's been like the only one. Because like all the other ones I'm waiting for haven't, or the only other ones I planned on getting this year haven't come out yet, because they're Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers, Link's Awakening, and Dragon Quest Builders 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like, what's
the big holiday game going to be this year? Like, the big holiday game?
There's going to be an Ass Creed, there's going to be a Battlefield, there's going to be a
Call of Duty. I
don't think
there's going to be an Ass Creed this year, honestly. They're still pumping out DLC for Odyssey.
Well, they do always do that, and then they pump one out in, like, 2 months.
I'm just saying, it's...
And then they finish it for 3 months after it comes out.
I get that, but it's May right now. I feel like the previous, like, Odyssey and Origins we had heard about before this point.
I mean, I don't really play Ubisoft games that much anyway, so I really don't care.
I feel like Ubisoft kind of gets a bit of a bad rap. Like, they're not... Some of their franchises are good, and they're not as bad as, like,
they're not,
the EAs of the world.
They're not incredibly scummy, but they still go under the they're very egregious with the trope of release now, finish later.
This is true.
And that's what I don't like about them.
The one Ubisoft... You know, I've fallen off the Assassin's Creed train. But the one Ubisoft franchise I do enjoy... Far Cry, I don't feel like has had that to that extent. Probably because with Far Cry, like, the glitchiness is kind of the point. Like, it's really funny to be, like, fighting someone and then, like, a deer comes charging out of the woods and kills them, and then a car runs over the deer, and then a plane crashes on the deer and everything explodes.
Well, they say the same thing about Skyrim, but after the 5th or 6th time that was released, it got annoying.
This is true. I don't know.
But at least they're not EA or Activision.
Video games. Yeah, no, Activision. What the fuck, man?
Are we getting into podcast mode here?
I guess we're getting into podcast mode tonight.
This usually happens.
Sometimes we stick to the game. Sometimes we get into podcast mode. If you want me to shut up and focus on the game, I'm fine doing that. Look at that. That's an extremely dangerous bridge you just jumped across. They should not let a child in this cave without adult supervision. Is my personal. Oh dear God.
You never know what will be around the corner. A good thing
you
stopped
Dave Mustaine?
No, Dave Mustaine is Mito. It's a good thing that they stopped me from rolling, because I would have gone right into that.
Yeah, exactly. Saved your ass. I wonder how Navi feels about the fact that you have one of her kind held captive in a bottle. She's fucked up.
I think she's a psychopath or
she's
sociopath.
A class traitor. She'll gladly sacrifice the rest of her time.
Like, whatever.
You got a red ruby. That's 20 rubies. You're bad at math.
This part kind of sucks. You have to time it so that the bomb explodes on the wall. Sometimes you can get lucky and it'll like stick on the ledge, because there is this tiny ledge in front of the wall.
I think the big like prestige game this fall winter is probably going to be The Last of Us 2.
Yeah, probably.
I think that's likely.
I tried using the gyro control.
Aren't we getting a new Borderlands at some point too? But Randy Pitchford keeps
Borderlands 3
showing his ass.
Isn't I don't know if it's out yet. But Borderlands 3 should be at least coming out soon.
I know it's Epic Store exclusive, which is pissing everybody off.
Well,
oh no, more of them!
Everything these days is Epic Store exclusive because they're just
we want to practice more with you! Yeah, Epic is using all that Fortnite money to try and take down Valve. Which, incidentally, I'm go off on a rant here. All of you who all of you know who listen to this regularly, that we are Linux gamers, and Valve may have issues, but they've done more for Linux gaming in like the last 2 years than any company ever. Proton integration within Steam has made it possible to play games like Skyrim and The Witcher 3 in your Linux distro with a click and without fucking with things for an hour.
Not Quake, though.
Messing with scripts. It's great. Meanwhile, Epic recently purchased Psyonix, the company that makes Rocket League. Mm-hmm. And Rocket League is a multi-platform title that's probably one of the biggest games that gets played in terms of population on Linux. And they are planning on bringing it exclusively to the Epic Store, where it will not have a Mac or Linux version, because those don't exist on the Epic Store. They say that current people who own Rocket League will continue to be allowed to play it, but that they may be like put in their own little walled garden, while all the people who buy it on the Epic Store will be able to play it with everyone and play cross-platform and everything. And you know they're going to give people like a code for it or whatever who own it, but they're essentially killing the Mac and the Linux ports of Rocket League. So in a world where people are doing that shit, like, I kind of have to support Valve because they're the only ones who fucking care about people who play video games on platforms that aren't a Windows PC.
Yeah, and I'm fairly sure they'll come out with like Mac and Linux versions eventually, but they gotta finish their storefront first.
Rant over.
And
Epic fucking hates Linux.
Oh, they do?
They do.
But that's a good point for the rant to be over, because we just got the bombs and the timer's done. So
okay.
Let's go ahead and cut the video here, and when we come back, we'll use these new bombs to blow some shit up. So until then, I've been Rado Goji.
And I've been Soylent Greg.
And we'll be here next time. Join us, won't you?